Remix, Orin, Thaddeus, Trosek, and Click went to a space station in the middle of nowhere because it had been evacuated and was sending out a warning signal. And we were going to scavenge from there. And we did. We went there. It was all deserted and shit. And then we realized it was infected with little transformer droids who were like evil. And they had power. They had like part organic powers. They could like, part organic, part droid. And we stole some shit, but they could like form up and make bigger transformers, and so we had to get out of there. So we stole some shit and got out of there. That's my vague description of that story. Importantly, Oren died.
Oh,
that's the important bit, and we got a new droid instead. It's important.
Yep, I've forgotten the droid's name already because I'm useless as a GM.
R3-3D.
It's Reed.
That's it. There we go, Reed. There we go. So Orin was stabbed in the shoulder and dragged out of the elevator shaft. Is he alive? Nobody knows. And you conveniently found a little droid that was willing to help you to escape this death trap of a space station. You were sent there on Baron von Skeeler's job order, shall we say, on the premise of getting 25% of whatever you could scavenge from this space station, which he did tell you was a scientific research vessel, and he'd gotten a hot tip that it had gone radio silent, and get there quickly, get some loot and get out before the authorities arrive. And what else happened on there? Not a lot, because
I'm sure it was that he would take 25% and we got the 75%.
No, definitely was the other way
I'm
around.
I'm sure that's how it was.
25% of whatever he got because he had to do with the fencing. And the ending was a little bit rushed because I was in a lot of pain and I wanted to get off of the computer. So as you were escaping with Click Clack flying the ship, they started to branch out of the space station in a way to try and catch you in a large net, but you jumped into hyperspace to get away. I did want to make that a little bit more interesting, but I wanted to go. It is what it is. So we'll jump.
I thought it was cool. So.
No worries. So we'll see if anything happens with Oren. You never know. He might come back. Who knows? But as far as you guys are concerned, you left him on the space station, so he's brown bread. So the other team, which was Lynn, Spanners, Isar, and Kira, took a second job to go to a pod race where Baron von Skeeler had told you that there is a skimming ring going on with the pod racing circuit, not as in a racing circuit, but I mean the global circuit. Basically, he wanted you to go and infiltrate that and get him a slice of the pie, and he would then reciprocate some of that pie to you guys. So you opted to take ISAR for hacking, and he got you a place. Well, he was going to register you a place in the pod racing race to use Spanner's pod racing, pod racer, get it out, pod racer, and he was going to sponsor you for that race as a reason why you're going to that planet. And you borrowed a ship.
With the brand name Redview Logistics on the side.
Yes. Yeah, he had a ship, Redview Logistics, and I think ISAR or Spanners changed the code on the ship to be something, but I can't. Wasn't the borrowed budgie? That was it. The borrowed budgie is the code name for what's going on. And we're going to pick up straight there. You've taken off from Tatooine, where Baron von Skeeler's compound is, and you've taken off exactly the same time as the other team. The camera splits, and you go off in different directions. You know, Nick? I thought you were going to say something, sorry. So you split off in different directions. They go off towards wherever they went to, and you guys were going off to Taris to pick up this pod racer.
Place that we made a swift exit from, and all of our stuff was impounded, including Spanner's hammer.
Yeah, so all the stuff
it was left there.
Yeah, we
might
don't.
not.
It's true. We don't know if it's been impounded.
It might have been destroyed.
No.
Quite possibly. Who knows? So we'll see. So, is there anything you guys want to do in hyperspace? Time between jumping between there and the fire away.
Question: what kind of lead do we have? Because when we get there, we need to know what we're looking for. Do we have an initial contact we need to speak to, or anything like that Baron von Skeeler has given
No,
us?
he only told you that he is aware of this ring and he basically wants to be part of it. But he did tell you that you couldn't do it remotely. You had to do it at a...
I think he meant about the pod racing.
No, I did mean the skimming ring.
Yeah, he told you that you couldn't do it remotely. You had to do it on site at an actual race because of the security keys and whatnot. So that was the only thing he told you. He knows about this skimming ring going on and has sent you to go get involved, the team trusting ISR's ability to work it out.
And Lynn's criminal connections, maybe.
Possibly. But ISR, I
don't think Lynn has any criminal connections on this planet.
Oh,
not this
so much for that.
ISAR would definitely know with his computer knowledge that he would have to get into the signal. So the way I look at this is like a betting shop, right? So imagine a betting shop now. Everyone goes on the internet and makes bets, and it all goes into the central computer. They make the bet, they get paid out their money. What bet with Betfair, Bet365, something like that, whatever it is. Well, you make the online bet, it cashes out, pays you the money back, all those bits and pieces. So you know that there is some form of, the whole galaxy are betting on these particular races, as they do horse races and stuff in this universe. So you know that people are coming in. So ISAR's knowledge of a skimming ring would be that, people are putting in their bank details to make a bet. So I want to put 5 credits on that race. But what the skimming is doing is putting a 4.5 credit bet, looks like 5 on paper, but skimming the 0.5 off of the ring. So they're making money every time someone does a bet, and that's basically what ISAR would know. However, he knows that he needs to have a local signal in order to patch into the computer system to be able to plant his seed of a program, and possibly to manipulate the communication between that machine and an outside signal in order to keep it going elsewhere. Did that make sense?
Are we starting No Strain fully healed?
Yes, you can go back to 4 hit points and full strain. I think what I meant to say there, Nick, was a relay and how do we put it? I guess like a remote login. So I've got to be connected to a machine in order for it to ping through. Does that make sense? I'm probably talking no jargon at all and not making any logical sense. There we go. A signal booster. There you go. He must put a signal booster here for it to do this and then bounce back. And there we go. No, let's put it that way. You can choose how you want to put it. I don't know. There's 2 things you got to do. Right? That's it. 2 things you got to do. Okay. Hyperspace travel.
I don't have anything to do.
Okay. So the alarm goes off in the cockpit, whoever's flying, and it just announces that you're arriving at your destination of Taris. You drop out of hyperspace, and you see immediately a huge cruiser over to the right-hand side, and then you get a hail come across on the communications.
I guess I'm probably fine. So
Oh yeah, I think so.
acknowledge.
Credentials, please.
6372.
Oh yes. Oh, the Borrowed Budgie. What a strange name. Oh, Frank, stop giving him a hard time. I've got to check the numbers. Oh, no, it's one of the Red View Logistics fans. They're just here to pick up some took from the planet. All right. Look, Borrowed Budgie, you're down to go down. No speeding. All right. This is a speed restriction zone. Pick up what you got to pick up and get the hell out of here.
Acknowledged.
and you can actually see various other ships now in your view with Redview Logistics all over the side of them, and they're coming and going up to the cruiser and then away in bits and pieces. But it's quite busy. There's quite a lot of ships here. There doesn't seem to be much evidence of a battle other than a few wreckages that appear to have other little ships or people outside them tearing things apart to recover bits and pieces. Maybe a scavenger crew, who knows. But it's quite busy here. Much busier than when you guys used to come and go quietly into the system.
Where have they sent us coordinates for, Kira? Is it anywhere near the old base?
Let me check. Is it near the old base? Yeah, it's near the old base.
Oh, rather. That's quite handy.
I wonder what's going on here. Is have they turned this into some sort of hub?
I thought you said pub at first. Oh, fucking hell, big pub. The whole planet. One big pub. Sounds great.
Amazing!
You never leave.
Life goals.
Lots of medical
Goals for
centres.
Lynn. Set a planet pub.
So as you come down towards the planet, Shimkira's behind the helm. Again, you pass various ships going up and some going down the same speed as you. You start to get a view of the jungle, roughly where the coordinates are, and you can see that there's just a huge section being cleared where the camp was. So you had the camp sort of in the middle, they had the walls around it, and the surgeon ship was sort of just outside, you used to go back between. There's an absolutely huge section cut out around it. Not where the surgeon ship was, but actually around the town. And now there's a lot more landing platforms. There's actually construction going on. There appears to be a lot more activity here now that something's been found, and they've kind of found like a patch, if that makes sense.
Can we see anything that looks like a track from above?
Oh, what's right?
A track, like, we're expecting to go pod racing, so I'm wondering.
Oh, pod racing's not here.
Oh,
So this
sorry.
was this though. That's my fault. So you were coming to Taris to try and recover Spanner's hammer, and the actual pod racing is on Malastair.
Sorry, that was my bad.
That's okay. Sorry.
I'm glad you clarified that because I was also like a little bit confused.
No, sorry, it's my fault because the pod racing.
No, it's 5 weeks Gap's fault. That's the problem.
So yeah, you can just see industry going on. There's buildings going up. There's pads where things are landing. People are offloading as you get closer and loading. It's a lot busier here than what it was before. It was like a shanty town put together, and but now it looks like it's a proper metropolis. Not as big as a metropolis, but like a small town building upwards.
I saw, my boy. It looks like the old base has been cleared out. I think perhaps the pod may have been impounded. Can you check the local net for me? See if you can find out any details about the cleanup operation of our old base?
I've managed to just put my whole face up on the screen, not unmute myself. I could see if I can tap into the base's computer if it's still active and check the local cameras as well. Maybe we can see what's going on.
Sure.
Good boy.
So do that anyway. That's cool. Point of clarity of where Spanners would have been doing his work would have been where the duck egg was, because he had a big pile of junk that he was working for out the back. So that's where he remembers the pod, but do the check anyway for the inventory, because you want to try and find whether it has been picked up or not.
How challenging do you want to make this check?
This area here, they're still building. I think you could quite easily land and then just plug into a system and then just do it. So average. They're still working on all of it.
No.
So,
No, wait. Four advantages of success.
Yep. So even. Because I fell. Well, look, you get into it anyway, and you don't see any evidence of pod racers or the name Spanner's hammer or anything like that being recovered or labelled in inventory.
Well, it's not been recorded anywhere. Whether that means it's not important enough to be recorded or hasn't been found yet, I couldn't tell you. Maybe it is in a pile of miscellaneous sorting. There seems to be an awful lot of recovery and what's the word? Salvaging going on.
Okay. Well done for trying. Looks like we need to do this the old-fashioned way and ask some questions. We need to find someone to go and ask. Maybe grease some palms.
But people don't like you putting oil on their hands.
I mean, money, my boy, money.
Should we try the original old-fashioned way, which is go and look where we left it, just in case?
Couldn't hurt. Although maybe we don't want to be seen there necessarily. I know that ISAR cleared us from the most wanted list, but you never know. Maybe we should be somewhat incognito.
Do we have a work order?
No, you were just given this ship and changed.
Right, so we haven't got like a, we're using cover of we're here to pick up something specific. We're not actually doing it. So ISAR could make something up, couldn't he?
Yeah, I mean the guys on the cruiser didn't check anything other than your credentials. They didn't ask whatever. It sounded. I was talking back and forth to myself, but it sounded like they were being lazy. Like they've seen a lot of these particular ships go up and down, and you can see from where you are on the pad, there is probably about 10 to 15 of similar ships that you've got, all same along the side, which Lynn is very suspicious for you in particular. There's a lot of these ships here, but you can see from where you are, there's a lot of trees have been cleared, and then they've been chopped into logs, and they seem to be being loaded onto a lot of these ships. There is piles of junk everywhere. You can see the old. Now you're down on the planet. You can see the old habitation. So where the kids, the what do we call it? The urchins and stuff stayed, and obviously the bar. And you can still say they're in use in some description, but there is new fabricated buildings that have gone up. It would appear from just an immediate look that this is some form of logging operation.
ISAR is going to write a fake job note using Red whatever, I can't remember what it's called already. Redview Logistics. Like a fake work order that's basically like come and collect, and then just list out a bunch of tech stuff, and one of them being Spanner's pod racer, and then like 2 crates of something, right? Like scrappy type stuff, and like parts for things that we think might have been here, and you're just gonna write a load of shit out as a cover.
Okay, go ahead.
Nice.
What skill are you going to give me for this one? Are you going to put it onto a data pad?
I was just gonna write it on
okay. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, no worries. Okay, so go on.
He's not hacking out. He's making a fake document on Word and then printing it out,
Fair enough.
or putting it in a data pad.
When we look out, do we see them all like wearing similar uniforms? Like, is there a Redview Logistics uniform? Is everybody just wearing ragtag?
They just seem to be wearing like typical flight crew things. Some are wearing overalls, some are just wearing jackets, and very similar to your attire.
Okay, thank you.
And there's all kinds of races, humans, Xenos, I'm going to call them Xenos, but they're, all kinds of different races here. So you wouldn't stand out particularly stepping out of the door.
Dan, I thank you for that hint you dropped there, because I missed it entirely, but I picked it up now.
Okay.
I'm finally up to speed.
I was going to resend you the notes because I thought you may have forgotten.
I had to look them up again, and that's when I clicked. I was like, oh.
Open up! Where's your work order?
Ah!
Yeah, work order, come on. He's like this little short, stumpy man.
Hand it here, boy.
Parts. A pod racer on this planet? You must be mad, whoever's asked for this. More parts, right. Over there you'll find some scrap. Over there you'll find some boxes. And there's some scrap out in the jungle that we haven't even categorised yet. So there you go. Get on with it. I need this pad. Hurry up. And he goes off and barks at some of the people who are loading things wrong according to his way of loading.
Come on out. See if you can find it. 4 engines. It's red. Go.
We flying the ship to go and look for it.
But now,
Or we...
No, that would look suspicious.
Okay, so we're walking.
So there was three piles of things. He said there's a load of scrap over there, hinting towards the town. And looking from here, you could just see this big pile of what looks like circuit boards and metal and things. Then there's some nicer looking crates over towards the other side of town. They've been stacked nicely and taken care of a little bit. And then obviously he pointed towards the jungle where Spanners knows that he had his own scrap pile. Nothing in the other two piles looks familiar to Spanners, because I don't think Spanners really remembers what he had in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
What is the weather like on the planet?
It's daytime and it's warm. It's tropical jungle weather, so I guess warmish, hot, arid.
Okay.
We've been here before, it's not unbearable.
Then we'll wear one of those, like, just, you know, like the desert people wear those, like, kind of like, almost like a cowl covering their face, like a wrap. But it's a light, soft fabric, and it's just to, like, obscure her face a little bit. But it still looks super good.
Here it comes.
One.
Here it comes.
I've spent £100 on this in Disneyland. I've got the prop.
Yeah. Like that, except it's like a see-through fabric, but it's just blurry enough that it obscures her features.
The Mel.
I really want to see what he's got in his hands.
The mannequin.
Oh, okay. I could just see the top of it. I couldn't reckon it was. So she's wearing like this see-through kind of. Okay.
That's just to obscure her features, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks cool.
Okay, so Dan, you described that Spanners would think it's in the jungle, yeah?
Well, that's where you left it. Well, I say you left it. That's where it was when you bravely ran with everybody else to escape the planet, of which you can still see evidence of, by the way. There is still, craters that you can see where obviously the bombardment was coming down, and there is scorch marks on trees, and every now and then you can probably see the odd bit of maybe stormtrooper kit or something just poking out of the ground where it's just been left. But there is clear evidence of what happened here, but it looks completely different because of all the deforestation that's happened around and the build-up. But yes, you remember, Spanners remember, I left that over there in that junk pile.
Okay. I think it was over there. I'm just going to have a look over there.
I was going to get a maglev trolley and just with his fake work order just go and hunt through those piles of stuff and see if there's actually anything useful for either him or for Spanners or for Click-Clack for their tinkering.
So the mission that you know you're going
No, go.
the mission you're going on, you've got to make some form of you've got to get some form of relay device, so a signal receiver and sender. You can definitely have a look in this pile to see if you can find some stuff to make that there, if you like, and whatever you like. If you roll a mechanics check on easy, because you're not under any pressure, and every success you can have something cool of your description. Every advantage you can get something that can help out with something later.
Parts. Generic
Yeah,
parts.
generic parts. Because I am too lazy to say what they are.
No, generic parts are fine because we need generic parts to make things like mods and whatnot.
Yeah,
So,
okay, battery.
I'm basically just removing the cost of mods. There you go.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Okay.
One of each.
One of each. So you find some parts like you've got to make this relay. You actually find a working relay, but it may just need reprogramming to do what you want it to do. And then you find generic parts and something specific if you want to find something specific. I'll let you think on that one if you want to. Just parts and parts.
Yeah.
Okay. Kira.
Maybe some parts of the droid. You know, the scanner droid that
Oh,
the
yeah,
shots.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Some parts to repair that. That's a good idea. Actually, you can find this. Kira and Lynn.
What scanner droid? Sorry, I'm lost. Which one?
The mapping one that we used on in the tunnels.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm with you now.
It was zapped by
Your pet,
Yeah.
Assault's pet.
Pet Rock.
What? Spanders has said he's going off to the jungle. Is anyone going with him? What if not? What's Lynn and Kira?
Lynn is definitely going with.
Yeah, I think Kira would follow. Well, Kira would offer to follow anybody if anybody needs help.
Okay. If you go with Nick, you can roll mechanics check as well if you like to see if you can help find some generic parts, or you can go with Spanners into the jungle.
I'll go with Nick.
Okay.
Let's go with
So
Nick.
if you roll the same mechanics check, so 2 difficulty, and then again successes and stuff, you can get parts or something specific if you choose to.
Yeah, that's gonna go badly, but
You're a racer. This stuff doesn't work.
it's not shiny enough for me.
I can imagine Kira picking up and going, I saw this, no, this, no, this. Just Spanners and Lynn, you kind of walk through the camp, and again around you see evidence of the battle. You can again see craters, you can see things strewn aside, blown up, where fires have taken place, and it just feels so weird that the last time you were here, you were running through a battlefield, and now it's so calm, and you can hear machinery off to the side, and every now and then you hear timber as a tree just goes. Although I imagine in Star Wars it will probably be done very, very differently. Maybe they'll just cut it into planks as they go up. I don't know. Anyway, but you see trees fall every now and then. You can hear, chainsaws and things chopping up and putting into planks, and you can hear machinery going back and forward. And from where you remember the town started, and you had this gap between here and the junk pile where the duck egg was, it's reduced quite a lot. Open ground, you see lots of tree stumps, people going back and forward and things. But you eventually come to that part of the jungle, and you're like, okay, well, it's just over here. And you find just this huge depression in the ground where the duck egg was, and like in a perfect kind of like shape. I don't even know what the shape is. It's not an oval, is it? No, is that wrong? Oh, whatever. They're long and whatever. And you can see your junk pile on the other side of this sort of depression.
Then it might be over there. It's that part over there. Let's go.
I'm not touching that, but yep, let's go.
I imagine this. Spanners knows exactly what he's got, but it's not in any form of categorized organization at all. It is literally things piled on top of things. And he goes, "Oh, I need a battery," and goes, "Well, there's one under there." And I just think that's how I imagine he keeps all these things. But you go over, and there's evidence of obviously where there's been rain and things that have happened, even debris from all the bombardment over previously. But there is a large tarp, and just underneath you can just see this sort of red colour.
Oh, that's my girl. And he starts pulling back the top. There's a big reveal as he pulls back the top, and then you can see a hench pod racer with 4 massive engines, and it's had a proper paint job and everything. It was like basically finished, and then we left. And it's remarkably got through the bombardment without a single bit of damage.
Lynn, can I have a... I don't know whether Lynn would hold her tongue here, or whether she'd say, "That's really a pod racer, look how big it is," or type thing. Because you would have seen pod racers, but this one looks gigantic. It's been built for Spanners, which is obviously a big guy to pilot it.
Yeah, but does it look cool? Is it slick? Is it does it look sexy?
I'm gonna say it doesn't look sexy. It's not streamlined and sleek. It's just like punch and like very right angled and big and chunky and fierce.
Then she's definitely going to be like, if it gets the job done, but next time maybe try for some style.
I went for style last time and I lost. This time I'm gonna win with power.
Okay. I'll trust your judgment in this area.
Well, we'll see then. We'll see.
Can I have a hard mechanics check, please, to check that it's all working and that you can safely switch it on?
Of course. Hard being 3 purple.
That's the one.
Okie dokie.
He's going to ace this. He's got like 5 yellows.
Oh no!
So,
Oh no, that is unfortunate.
it's been sitting here for quite some time. So you've been gone in times of like, I'd say at least a month. It's been sitting out in the weather. And before that, you would have loved to have spent time on it, but you were out on missions and doing things. So I'm going to say it's been here for about 6 months. It's finished, but it's not been turned over or tended to maintained. So you go to turn it on, and it does that thing where the panel lights up, and you're like, yes, you're like, no! But the advantage is you look at it and go, dead battery.
Thanks, Varric.
So, Spanner's about winning that race with power.
It just needs a new battery. She'll be fine.
So it needs more power, is what
Shut
you're saying.
But you
With a
can,
new battery, she'll be fine.
well,
The engines are solid.
you had batteries here. You can definitely look for one. You can both give me a
I thought, I suppose you've found a V6 battery, have you?
No, we've just found lots of shit here, but I've got to go and pick up some crates so I could see if I can find some in the crates.
Thank you. Keep your eye out.
I will switch over to those guys. So you go from this pile of mess where Kira gave some wonderful help, and you found some bits that are really helpful, to go over to the crates of bits and pieces.
The crates that create cratage.
That's the one. And there's lots here, lots of different material and things that they found, and some parts and equipment. But you search and search and search, and you go, there's no batteries here. But just as you've finished looking, you look up and just see the loader. And on some of the JCBs and other bits and pieces, you see like an exposed engine section. There is just a V6 battery sitting right there in your eye line as you look up and go, Psst, Kira.
Instructions unclear. Grenade?
You muted me.
I know, I was miming quietly.
So what I would like is a hard coordination check to get the battery out from Kira, but I would like some form of check from Isar to create a diversion, or even a perception to see if basically to make sure he's either lookout or he's either a lookout or he's a diversion.
I will give you a mechanics check, right? Because I'm going to accidentally nudge a pile with this grav trolley, and I'm going to nudge it in just the right place that this massive hulking pile just goes into another pile that goes into another pile.
Okay, no worries. Well,
Okay. Can we play that out that if he manages to make that a success, hit times with my 5 threat, and that was the noise that I made.
I will give you any advantages that Nick gets reduces. Obviously, he's going to succeed. Or do it.
Yeah.
Any advantages he gets will reduce the amount of threat that you have. Because so far you have quite a lot.
I am gonna flip a destiny point to upgrade my check.
Okay. Oh, we didn't re-roll them.
Sorry, how hard do you want this to be?
I think average for you because I don't think you're just trying to create a diversion, aren't you? You're not really trying to do anything particular. No, we are doing particular, not anything over dramatic. Okay.
We're not doing very well tonight, are we?
So, in my mind, you kind of maybe even take a bit of a run up with the grav trolley to try and give it a nudge in the right direction, but you've completely underestimated the weight of these crates when they're stacked, and you just crash into it. maybe look a bit of a fall, but you can have the 3 advantage reduction to your threat. Right, so you grab the battery after this cacophony of noise behind you, and probably an oof rather than a crash, crash, crash. However, as you reach up to grab the battery, you're not a mechanic. There's bits to disconnect, but you don't really take your time. So you've actually damaged the battery slightly. So maybe you have a battery, but it's kind of leaking ever so slightly of fluid.
Does he realize it though? Does she realize it? Sorry.
Well, I have a question for Andrew. What does Kira do? Does they just reach up and grab it and then run, or do they try and act casual?
I think act casual.
Okay. No problem. So I don't know. I reckon maybe you'd realise after a short while that it's leaking, but
You start to sizzle
yeah,
the battery acid.
Becomes slippery when wet.
that's it. Maybe it's a hydrogen-based battery. It's not acidic. So you've got the battery. It's leaking. You haven't quite worked that out yet. And ISR is rubbing his chest, just bruised himself, with the grav trolley. And you hear a foreman shout, "Yeah, get away from those crates!" And then you flash the work order, and he goes, "Oh, well, hurry up and take what you need." He goes, "I've got to get this loader moving in a minute." And then he sort of turns back as if he was on his cigarette break. And
He very quickly leaves the area when he mentions the loader.
One battery acquired.
And wheels all our shit back onto the borrowed budgie.
Okay.
He opens the crate and has a look, and look, there's a perfect battery in there, undamaged.
And we will obviously let them know we have said battery, so that they're not lost in.
Oh, good. Can you bring it here? I can't drive the pod to the ship without the battery.
Can't you push it?
I've got 4 arms, but I'm not that strong.
Fine.
So you
Staying
see.
at the ship, or you're coming with us?
Oh, you were great. Okay. So you guys see the same as Spanners and Lynn on the way through. You can see the deforestation. You can see the craters, and then you get to the tree line. Step through where you knew the duck egg was, and you see this depression. And on the other side, you can see.
Are you going to give him the battery?
Just looks at like the trail of like dots in the sand. So just sort of hands it over.
Oh dear. I've got some space tape. I'll just put on that and it'll be fine. Okay.
It's lost some charge, obviously. It's lost some of its fluid, so it will do well enough to get you to the ship, but you're going to have to replace that for a race.
Okay. Great. Spanners puts it in after he puts some space tape on it, puts the positive and negative on, and fires it up. And you hear it go. Ooh, then the engines fire up. Chop, 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 chop. You know how one of the ones in episode 1 has got a pod racer that sounds like that. It's got that real sort of chug 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 sound. That's what Spanos one sounds like.
So you
It's
see,
fired up.
you see loads of birds in the area go to the sound, and it's very loud, guys. He's in the driving seat, but it's very loud.
And Lynn will lean over to Spanners and just put her hand on his shoulder and say, "Give us a ride back to the ship."
Unfortunately, not. This pod race is built for one. And actually,
You're not racing. You're just driving back.
there's no room.
So I'll jump on your lap.
No.
No problem.
To be honest,
come
I'm
on,
getting out
Spanners.
anyway. Kara, come up here. You need to get familiar with it. Up here.
Thumbs on.
Kira, you'll give us a ride back to the ship, won't you?
No,
I
she
think-
won't.
I think you should start walking. To be fair.
So
Saying
Kira,
I'm fat.
Loud! I'm going back to the ship!
But don't worry, I'll warm the ship up and be ready to go. So I'll wait at least 2 minutes for you to arrive before taking off into space.
okay.
Right, Kara, this button turns it on. This is your left throttle, this is your right throttle. And he gives Kara a really quick rundown of all of the buttons and how to operate the ship and its quirks, the racer and its quirks. And he says, now, don't go tinkering, okay? Like you did on the ship. It stays as it is. Got
We
it?
want to win, right?
Yes, so don't tinker.
Exactly.
Now, Kira, looking at this cockpit, the way it's been designed, it's clearly been designed for Spanners' race. I've forgotten what they're called. Basilisk.
Basilisk.
It's very clearly been designed for them who have got 4 hands. You've only got 2. So he's built this pod. Maybe he didn't learn for the first time. I don't know, but he's built it so that it can be controlled by 4 hands, not 2. So can I have? I'd like to have 2 checks here. One from Richard and one from Kira. I would like to have a education check from Spanners,
Yes.
so based on intelligence, and I would like a discipline check from Kira to see how much Kira takes in and how overwhelmed she is that this isn't like a simple speeder. So I'm going to have average checks for both of them, please.
2 purple.
Yes, the one.
Well, Spanners went to university, and I did put some points into education, or at least 1 yellow into education.
Kira's seen a
Okay.
few throttles, so
So as you're explaining, this is the throttle, this is the air brake, this is the power relay, this is you in episode 1. You plug in this, plug in change. You kind of pointing these things out, and Kira's going, but mentally in her own, she's going forward, stop, go. So she takes in the essentials, but not the the power switch. And
How to turn off the anti-lock braking system.
all those bits and pieces, and the handbrake and things, and all the important bits that she absorbs all of the good bits that she wants to hear, but not all the other bits. So Andrew, we're going to have a piloting planetary check now. I've just closed the Poxy character sheet. I'd like to know how gracefully you get this out of the jungle and back to the ship. Edge of the Empire character sheet. I'm going to give you. Okay, question for Kira: is it all or nothing when it comes down to speed, or has she absorbed what Spanners has said and said, kind of behave yourself?
he wants to see if it can go.
Okay, I would like a hard piloting check, please, with the black.
Okay, but I can remove the black.
You can remove the black. I remembered that from earlier.
Yeah.
So this is determining on. You can describe it, whatever, but basically, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I like to think the threat is that I zoot off so fast that there's like a little bit of like a, not a force, but like whoever's standing next to it is suddenly in a little bit of like, oh shit.
let's have it
Nice.
that Spanners is thrown into a junk pile and takes a damage.
Oh!
But you successfully get it out of the tree line, across the depression of where the ship was, through the logging camp, and up into the bay where the area where the ship is, passing Lynn and Ice are on the way, straight past them. 100 miles an hour, nothing else.
Does it have a hooter?
Yeah.
You were told where the hooter was, but you didn't absorb that information.
Oh,
And to the guys, as you go past really, really fast, they just sort of see the pod where you're driving it like this because you didn't take the handbrake off, so it's kind of like dragging behind. Well, the air brake, I don't know, it's just been fun. That's how it works, right? Physics. But yeah, you make it back to the ship. No problem at all. You get some funny looks for some people around, obviously from the loggers and stuff. They're like, pod racer here, what the hell, you know? But you don't actually hear them say that. They're just giving you some looks. The foreman's there when you get back and goes, you found it. Didn't think you'd find one of those here, but well done. I'll need the pad. Hurry up.
We're off. Good day.
And you dismantle the pod from its couplings, I assume, and just push the bits and pieces in.
Just one point of order from Lynn. On the way back, he's going to just subtly start up conversations. And I'd like to use like a streetwise or something to engage with these people because she wants to find out why there is such a big movement of this logistics company in this area. Like, surely if there was something valuable here, the surgeon would have been mining it, you know, and capitalizing it or utilizing it. So she just wants to find out what the interest is of this company in this area.
I'll tell you. So you ask a couple of people on the way, maybe, what are you doing here and things. And the answer is exactly the same. They're transporting Taros redwood. So they're cutting down the trees, chopping them into logs. Apparently it fetches quite a nice price in a galaxy.
Okay.
In a rim, sorry, there we go, in a rim, not galaxy. And that's the answer you get from the various people that you walk up, and that's why. But you find out that Red Fuel Logistics got the transportation contract.
From the Empire.
They don't tell you where the end user is, just that they got the transportation contract. Theoretically, Red Fuel Logistics, from a metagame perspective, is lots of independent pilots working for the courier company. A bit like DPT, I guess. They're self-employed, you know. So there are lots of independent pilots. So any captains you speak to will just be like, this is work.
We could have picked up some extra credits by shipping something out.
I don't think you would have had enough room with the pod, if I'm honest. And I'm not sure how space wood does well in space. If you tracked it underneath or whatever, I don't know. However, you're cleared to launch, should you have finished on the planet.
Yeah, I think we're ready.
And
Kira, set a course for Malister.
And
He
this
says
time
after
she's going to
Atlas.
be a little bit less lax on the the local speed limits on getting out. You know, beforehand she didn't want to piss anybody off before we landed and got a pad to get everything. But now on the way out, it's a little bit more like we're not coming back for a while.
Fair enough. Okay, no worries. So you go up into the upper atmosphere. Again, what you see is the large cruiser, and you see lots of ships going back and forward. You can see some of these logistic ships just literally going to the cruiser, and then you can see some coming back out. So whether it's loading up, but it doesn't have any names or anything on this particular cruiser. And you sort of pull aside and then jump into hyperspace towards Malister. Once you've all settled back down into the ship, you know, whether you're having a drink, sitting down or whatever, a message comes through from Baron von Skilier.
I guess I'll say hello.
Go ahead, Baron.
Well, got some good news for you and some bad news for you. Good news is you're in the race.
Hold on. This is for Lynn. He patches the call through to Lynn. I mean, sorry.
Hello, Lynn. Turns out the other one didn't want to talk to me. Anyway, good and bad news. Good news is I have got you into the race. It cost me
Fantastic.
quite a bit and a few favours, so I would ask that you don't let me down. Bad
How
news.
would we possibly let you down?
Well, I have a lot of credits riding on this. So,
Oh, so you bet on us.
no,
You didn't just pay for our entrance.
entry fee. However,
Yeah.
it happened to
So
be...
how do we let you down? I don't understand.
No, don't let me down.
Yeah, but I don't understand how we would let you down. Like if we lose, it doesn't matter. You don't lose anything more.
Well,
Oh, you mean be a complete embarrassment?
yes, I've had to use my name and a few contacts that I didn't want to call in favours for.
Oh, okay.
Yes, well, you know...
Don't worry, Baron. I assure you, Kira and Spanners are an ace team, and they will smash this.
Yes, well, let me give you the bad news. This isn't the low-level pod racing that I was informed it would be. This is the pro circuit, and this will be broadcast to the entire galaxy.
So you would like your name printed on our pod racer?
No,
Or some extra credits? We could totally do that.
no. I don't want my name associated with this at all.
Okay. So what's so bad about that?
Well, there's a lot of eyes in the pro circuit and a lot of rich teams. And, well, you were wanted not too long ago.
Yeah, but racers very often wear masks. So
Yes, I
they'll
just
all be fine.
don't want this coming back on me. Anyway,
Okay.
I haven't heard from your other team. That's also bad news. I haven't reported in, so hopefully they're all right. You know, but anyway, and then he goes into explaining.
What?
Sorry.
Oh no, I was going to interrupt him and cut him off. Just one thing, Baron, this logistics van that you got for us. How did you secure this? Do you do much business with them?
With who?
The logistics company.
Oh, Laroon. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do business with Laroon every now and then.
Oh, okay.
Why's that?
Oh no, just curious. Like you seem to secure the van quite easily, and then it was very coincidental that when we arrived at the planet, Redby was all over the place.
They were?
Yeah, they are mining the wood like you won't believe.
I didn't know that. But thank you, I'll do some digging. Might be worth getting
You're
involved in
welcome.
that too.
If you do, we take a 5% cut for the information.
5%. 2.5? No, I'm only kidding with you. Right, and then he goes into a spiel about what you need to do in order to... he says, I think ISR's got it, but what he needs to do is set up a relay, and then he also needs to blah, 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 and gives you...
Hang on. This is boring me. I saw. Just pick up this call for me, will you? He's boring and tech stuff. I saw.
I reckon he
I
rejects
saw.
it, and Baron goes.
Okay.
It's like, it just cuts the entire call off.
Oh well. I'm sure we'll figure it out.
He doesn't call back. You know, I assume that he just gets rejected and cuts off the entire call. So yeah, anything?
We'll then relay that to everyone else. The conversation.
Yes, definitely. We'll
Spanners will
communicate
say.
everything.
Spanners will say, "I wonder whether I should take my name off. Just the Hammer. If I remove my name, then maybe that will enable us to have a lower profile."
If he's
Definitely.
paid our entry fee, surely his name's all over this anyway, so that's not particularly.
It's
He
being
could have paid
broadcast,
it
and it says
anonymously.
Spanners on it, and they see a basilisk in the pit. You know, somebody who's after us might see that and go, "That's the guy."
Yeah, definitely. You're gonna have to take your name off. Sorry, Spanners.
That's okay.
I know how proud you are, but maybe when we race in the underground rings, we can, pop your name back on.
I'll go peel the decals off.
Can we change the color, make it a bit more shiny?
No! It stays red.
Red and silver?
No.
And how much do those V6 batteries go for? We'll need to secure one when we get to the planet. I just want to make sure we've got credits.
Oh no, that's fine. I found one on the ship.
Nice point. Sure, you found a spare one. Oh no, it was the life abort system. No, it's fine. You find a spare one.
It's funny. We'll go and peel off the SPA, etc. off, but leave hammer on. So it just says hammer on the side now.
Does it have that? You know, when you take the covers off and it has like the outline.
Yeah, definitely.
Spanners. Some
Let's
of
go.
these buttons in this cockpit are like really not working. Do you mind like taking over for a bit and seeing if you can fix it?
Is Kira talking about the ship? So I can come and have a look at that.
Thank you.
As a player, I don't trust you, but Spanner's very trusting.
Kira's gonna just go and have a look at exactly how, you know, when Spanners goes in, exactly how everything fits and how she might be able to like move some buttons closer, or you know, like make it more suitable to like actually be racing.
Do you get like post-it notes out and start putting things on it? Do you want to do a mechanicals check to try and move or rewire some stuff?
I'm not really
Looks
good
at
mechanics,
character
so.
sheet.
Well, after how badly the other mechanics check, so probably no. But I think I'm going to use it more as like I just wanted some alone time to figure out what I needed moving and what, and so I'm going to like get a little bit of a list and speak to Spanners about moving it when I go back.
I think definitely on top of that list would be colour ? Well, you could do that before we go on to the planet. So if you want to talk to him about it, that's up to you.
Yeah,
Or-
okay. I'll head back to him. So have you fixed those buttons? Here in the cockpit, in the spaceship cockpit. Words in the ship.
I couldn't work out which buttons you're referring to.
Okay, well don't worry, I've got another job for you.
Okay.
I had a quick look at the speeder, and it's you know it's suitable for you, but it's not really suitable for me, especially with my tail and all the buttons are so very far apart. Got some notes here. Hands across a note. Do you think you could sort that out for me? We really need to make sure this is in top-notch condition to be able to have this race.
Okay, I will, and I'm glad that you brought this list to me rather than going ahead and making the changes yourself.
I'm glad I did too.
Okay, that's fine, Kira. I'll go do that now. Do you want to check, Dan?
No, I'm fine now. But I will say that it takes you the remainder of the journey to make those tweaks and changes and things. Is there anything that ISAR is doing on the journey? No? Lynn, doing anything else on the journey? Or
He'll just look through the shit that he picked up. And, like sort it out and put it in nice little neat piles for people.
do you want to attempt to fix your little robot?
I'm gonna. I also remember that we later did actually say we'd fixed it because I'd used it in the prison stuff. So he's instead going to use those pieces to improve upon the robot
Oh, okay.
in some way or another. I only just remembered that that we'd used it like 3 or 4 times afterwards.
Oh, okay. I'd forgotten as well. Okay, no worries. Yeah, so we can make it better in some way. Give it a little bit of
That's what he'll do. He'll like because he can't do it, but he'll
have a look
I
at
don't know, like write a bit of program or something for some mods that he wants to add on to it, and write out a spec for like or Spanners to actually do the work.
Yeah, take a look at the mods for droids or something like that and see what works. Kira? No, spoken to Kira. Kira's flying the ship, is that right? or
Yeah,
talking to
yeah. Back,
Spanners.
back to flying this ship.
Lynn, are you doing anything in the travel time?
Lynn's just going to walk around, and when she finds Spanners working on the thing, she's going to kind of like just walk around the room. And while she's walking around, she's just going to be like, going to be her inspiring self, but she's going to be rattling off the stuff at Spanners about how important it is for us to win this race and how proud she is that he's such a great mechanic. And she'll drop some hints and words about like, oh, it could do a little bit more, form over function, but that'll come in the next iteration or something, and she'll just keep like jabbering at him. I doubt he's listening, but she's just jabbering
Just
along.
go, hmm.
Secretly, he's listening to every word, getting stressed and then getting elated, stressed, elated, stressed, elated. The whole conversation. So after a while, you're approaching Manister, getting close. You're getting close because you see it on the ship's computer, and Spanners has made all of those changes that you have asked for to make it more accessible for you, Andrew. ISAR has
Including
managed,
the color.
well, the colour was a question mark on the top of the list, so that's up to Richard.
You can hold that one. Put a big red cross next to it.
ISR's been tinkering with the bits to see if he can make a mod. That's cool. Lynn has been giving words of encouragement and stressful stuff. Words of encouragement. And you exit hyperspace out over Malastair. Looking through the viewport, you can see that it is a very heavy forested planet with lots of mountain ranges and rocky plateaus. From this height, it looks like rocky plateaus, but it looks like it could just be vast plains of like a rocky terrain. In space, you will see a couple of space stations, but primarily you will see Manister Communication Station. Which looks like a massive satellite on top of a long tube with a circular ring going around of it. Very, very big, very, very strange. But there's a couple of teeny tiny satellites there as well. Going down towards the planet, you're not questioned while you're there by any authorities. You go towards the town, which Baron told you. I haven't named the town, but Baron has told you this is where the race is taking place. And when you sort of land, the town is built right on, I'm going to call it a fault line, but it's not a fault line. The change in terrain, the town is built, one half of it's kind of foresty, the other half is rocky. And this is where the race will take place. So we know that we have a bit more freedom with describing the track. And you land in the team area. You deposit your ship and you get some funny looks from outside the cab as all these large cargo ships and whatever, they look all privately owned, have all landed, and you can see people taking pods out, and then you've landed in a Redview Logistics like kind of like a space taxi, I guess, in some ways. Landed in a space.
You've landed in a Enterprise rent-a-van.
Exactly, there we go. Yeah. So you get some very strange looks from, what's that type of ship doing there? And just before you get off the ship, your datapad pings one of you, and it's just a message from Baron von Skeeler, and it's, here's your entry ticket code thing. As you open the bay doors to exit the vehicle, there is a little, how to explain it, teeny tiny, as you know, I've forgotten what the race is called. Aline, there we go, Alenian. Lupo was one, the little bounty hunter that ran away. And he's got a data pad on, some giant headphones. He's like, may I have your ticket, please?
Spanners has changed into like pit leathers. He's got like a big four-armed like tracksuit leathers with branded that he's changed into. So he looks the part, even if the delivery ship doesn't. And he says, "Here you go."
Oh, thank you. Oh, the Flying Pigeon team. We've been waiting for you. And you turn the ticket around and it says flying, but it's spelled PH lying, and then pigeon. Oh, we've been waiting for you. We're going to start the time trials in about 15 minutes. Are you going to be ready by then?
You're up.
Yes, I'm
Ready
ready.
for. We're good.
Oh, good.
Yes, we'll be ready.
Oh, good. I'll go to. You're the last team to arrive. I'll go get the track ready. When you're ready, just pull onto the track. This isn't an official race. It's just to make sure the pods are working. A bit of a time trial. I'm not going to make you roll for this. This is just me introducing the other things. So, over to you for pod. Is the pod ready?
Spanners will do all the necessary checks, take it out and recouple it and fire it up for Kira, so she doesn't have to worry about that. He'll get all that done, and then be like, "Yep, pre-flight checks are done, Kira. She's all yours."
Thank you.
What you done?
Kira's gonna get like her little like goggle type things or something with like eye protection that is definitely very shiny.
You've done that in the ship area. Quick, use the camel to get. Do you remember the camel thing from episode 1? Get that to drag it to the track quickly. You're going to be late. And then there's just an image of this camel thing dragging the pod off. Not dragging because they float, don't they? But dragging off to the start line. And Spanners and Kira walking off to the start line. Lynn, Isar, are you doing anything in particular, or are you going to observe and
Scout. Be nosy.
I'm with Lynn comes out dressed to the nines, like she's wearing like proper high society, like cocktail outfit, looking super cut, and she's gonna go and do exactly what Isar said. Just scout, walk around. She's no interest in the time trials at all. She's interested in the results, but not in the actual event. But she wants to just scout.
so the Alenium will go. Crew members can go into the bar. It overlooks the part of the track. It's just up here, up that stairs and round. You'll see it. Look, and there's like points to a big sort of oval, like windowed area that you can just see the part through the track through the fence where they're walking off to. Sort of looks down onto it.
Where's the VIP area, darling?
In there, you'll find it.
Thank you.
He stares a bit too long as you walk away.
Isar falls out as he watches him watching her. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Yes.
He's big long head. I keep forgetting he's got
A long head.
big long head. Yeah. The tech room, please.
And yes, you want to be watching on the cameras. Follow the stairs up and go right. Don't go left. That's VIP. Go right.
Like with his like laptop bag, but it's not a laptop bag, is it? It's
Oversized data pad.
but like a laptop bag isn't. Everyone's laptops are like this big, but your laptop's bag's still this big because you've got 25 other cables, 3 power supplies, like a tech bag. Yeah.
Oh, what movie is it? Is it Die Hard? The one with the hacking one? And he has like a little bag with a laptop in it. He just flips it open and puts cables in. Was it in before? There we go. Do you know what I'm talking about? No? He has a little satchel and he basically just flips it around in front of him, opens up his laptop, plugs cables in and just starts hacking away. And anyway, I'll find a picture.
I think maybe he's got an oversized backpack, and in the backpack is his drone.
Okay, no worries. So he just looks.
So I've just realised that wouldn't fit in a. I don't know why I'm doing this. You can't see the other half of what I'm doing. This is where your view stops. Yeah, the backpack's as big as him.
Looks just like a tech guy. And
yeah, he looks.
The Elenium would have seen lots of people going up there with the kits, so that's cool. So I'll do you first then. So you go up the stairs and go right, and you open the door, and there's just screens everywhere, but there's little bays where people can set up. So you've got a big view screen which is currently showing the track in like a rotating view. You can see all the racers getting ready on the track and their immediate pit crew. They're there. You can see a big view of the map, although we don't know what the map is because that's obviously up to the players as we go around. And then you can see other like team techie guys obviously seeing their input in data. You can see data going up and down the screen. There's pictures of their pods and they sort of all look around. because this is secret information, you know. They want the best pod, so they're all sort of trying to keep their data hidden. And it looks like a what I would imagine as a big tech room from screens. It's quite dark in there because tech guys don't like light, do they? Other than computer screen light. Yeah. So left upstairs, and left is the VIP bar area. That's right. Yeah, right to the up to left. So, Lynn, you walk out into. Well, I'll tell you what it looks like. Then you can decide whether you walk out. It's up to you. It's a very well lit area. You can see sort of kind of ovalish. No, that's not oval. It's like that. Ovalish windows all the way around in a big circle, semicircle. Sorry. You can see a very large bar, lots of seating, and it immediately is apparent to you that this is either the owners of the teams or VIPs that they've brought along to watch the race and bid on. This is a very busy room, very, very busy room, but it's quite noisy.
Lynn will enter. She'll go like straight to the bar, and then make a little bit of a spectacle. Like she doesn't want to draw the whole room's attention, but just enough, like of the people around her, and she's gonna order like the most expensive drink that they have, like whatever it costs. Dude, you tell me how many credits it is, and Lynn's gonna pay it.
Are you sure, madam? And would you like that charged to your team account?
Of course.
Yes. Okay. Unfortunately, our most expensive drink only comes in bottles. And he pulls out this oversized champagne-like looking bottle and puts it on his. I've got a bucket of ice for it as well, but I'm gonna have to bring that to your table and then put the bottle in if that's okay.
Yeah, that sounds good. Thank you.
Sitting by the window, madam?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Best seat if you got it.
No, just a moment, I'll get you the best one. And you see him walk out the back and come out carrying this massive, like, container, starts filling it with ice, and then you see him walk over to a table, put it down into like a circular ring, goes back and gets the bottle and shoves it straight in. And then rather than corking it, he puts this little device in, like through the cork, and then he just pours like a beer tap, you know, out the top, so it's coming up. Here, madam, and the best seat just for you. What was the team name, please?
The Flying Pigeon.
I'll add it to your credit account. And are you staying in this brain facility, or are you going back to your ship to sleep? We have rooms.
Oh, rooms. I'll say very quietly to him, how much are they?
I can charge it to your team account if you like.
I know, but at the end of the day, I'm the one paying for the team account.
1,200 credits a night. But they come with
No,
fabulous views.
I will stay in the ship.
Okay, don't worry. I'll charge it to.
She says, and you can see like the disappointment on her face as she says this, because she's missing out on a supreme opportunity for some luxury. But she's like, no.
I'll charge the 7,000 credits to your team account for the drink.
Yes, that's perfect.
And Ned, put your knees out. What's that? Oh, you've put a picture there.
Like the biggest wine bottle size, I
Yeah,
think.
like something big, yeah, and like massively oversized. Completely unpractical for what it is. And by the time you've done that, and you can see a lot of people looking at you, Lynn, which obviously you're not uncommon to. Lots of people look at you, you know, and you hear on the tannoy, ladies and gentlemen, and it's the Eileen's little voice. We're going to introduce all of the team and racers. Please stand by. Down on the race pads, starting pads, grid. There we go. You can see lots of pods lining up. And you can see their pit crew. So Spanish, you're the immediate pit crew that's there. You can see that other teams have got some immediate pit crew. And they appear to be doing some last minute adjustments, as you may also be doing some last minute adjustments. Oh no, I've broken.
Do I think that any of them look like serious rivals? Like looking at the pods and the crews, are there any that Spanos would think they're the ones to watch?
Well, in your immediate vicinity, there. So I imagined the grid going backwards two by two. You know, that's how I imagine it. So in your immediate vicinity to your left, you see a Gank male, and he appears to be a very blocky-looking pod, very similar to yours. He's got very blocky engines, very right-angled, but his pod at the back just looks like a magic carpet. It's just like one solid rectangle of metal, and you kind of look at it and go, how the hell is he going to keep safe in that? Because it looks like he just sits with an open canopy.
Yeah.
And,
No roll cage.
Yeah, no roll cage. So it just looks really, really strange. And he's sort of, sort of doing little bit lasts of tweaks and changes, and then he hops into the cockpit. So directly behind you, taking a quick look, you see a Twi'lek female, really quite petite. And you think, well, what's going on here? Their pod is exactly what Lynn was trying to explain to you. It sort of twigs in your brain. It's this really streamlined, two engines, really, really streamlined, and it looks like the pilot sits on like a speeder bike. Like it looks like a modified speeder, like kind of thing. It looks really, really strange. You're like, that's not a pod. This is a pod type thing. It doesn't quite look right from someone of your size. And she looks really diddy, but she's got no pit crew. She appears to be doing stuff by herself, and then she hops on ready for the race, puts her hat on. The other side, so I did left, one behind you, so the one obviously then to diagonal left behind you is a human male, and he looks really skinny and messy. I imagine like a surfer dude, messy hair and whatever, and he's got 6 pit crew all running around making changes to the pod before the race, and just as this sort of section clears, you see on the side of an engine looks like a Rancor and like a superhero pose, and he's got 2 engines, a dual engine system, very slim line. It looks, as Kira wanted it, very shiny and looks very expensive. And like I said, on either side of the engine, he's got these sort of Rancor and superhero poses. They're like who you can see immediately. Obviously, there's too much busyness to see the other pods going on. And then you hear over the tannoy, we're going to introduce the racers, and he reels off a load of names, and you count them as you're going through. And in position 12, we have Soon Quinn in his... Call that a pod. In his pod. Next, we have the Hammer from the Flying Pigeons, piloted by Kira. Then we have Amareth Laroon in position 13. Oh, she appears to be on a solo, no team name. And after that, we have...
Bold.
Pardon?
Bold. Amareth Laroon.
Yeah. Do you want the spelling? No? Okay. And then you hear the last name of Yun Helrath, and he is Shiny Rancor. And then he reels off a few names after that, but you've lost interest because that's your immediate field. And he goes, and racers ready! And you see all the pit crew sort of scuttle away, and the light goes red, 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 green, and off they go. We're not going to do this part of the race. That's just a thing. Jumping forward, so in ISAR's room, you can see the pods going around the track. You can see the track as image. You can see the cameras. You can hear all of the production crew behind you going, switch to camera 1, now camera 2, as they're preparing to live stream this for the real race. And you can hear all the other teams, and occasionally you hear one of them go, engine on power 2 is... Power on engine 2 is a little bit low, fluctuations. Make a note. You see them all making notes about their team. Obviously, we didn't quite do that with you, but we can retrofit that you were monitoring the pod. In the VIP area, a couple of people have come closer to Lynn and looking down at the racers. But obviously, that name did twig with you, and you appear to be following that particular pod when you can see it going round on the view screen. And Kira, this is fun. You seem to be going around a track. There doesn't appear to be any. There's no one being aggressive. Like they're not. No one's in a race. It appears to be. The Formula One where they go around the track first. So they're just testing out the tyres and they're warming up the engines and just trialing basically to make things. But that's what this is. So it is fun. Don't get me wrong. But you're more like reporting back to Spanners if there's any issues or that you're foreseeing with the changes. There doesn't have to be any. I'm just saying, setting the scene. Is there any changes you want to tell him about that you find when you go around?
Make it faster.
Okay.
It needs to be at least 300% faster.
And 300% lighter.
There is a limiter that we can take off. It's capable of going faster, but you'll lose some handling. It's up to you.
I thought you were good at this. Can't you do both?
No, there's a trade-off.
Imagine on the computer screen it's in training wheels mode.
Can't we just throw Lynn's credits at it?
Oh, that's not how it works.
They make it heavier if they stick to it. So, go on.
While I'm in there watching them go around this course, and I've got like everyone else's team's data traced glances on the screen, I do actually want to, as much as I was just scoping out this room, while he's in here with all this data around, he's gonna actually try and write a little piece of mapping to figure out the fastest route around this course.
Okay.
So either an astrogation or a computers check, I think. Because astrogation is about mapping a route, and then obviously computers is about making the PC do the mapping of the route. So whatever one of those two you want, but I think you'll try and just use what's available in this sort of more staffy area.
Mm-hmm. So what I'll do is you can sort of map out the track in order to give Kira a blue die on her maybe first couple of rolls. Because the way I think of it is, even if you tell Kira, it might go to pot after the race starts because she's a bit hot-headed. Sorry, Andrew, to put words in your mouth. But
what he'll then do is he'll go to the pod racer afterwards, and he'll take all of the manual controls off and just do it on a autopilot. So Kira's no, he doesn't really do that. He does.
I can imagine
He's not that sort.
Broken. I think Kira during the race will go, no. Right, let's have a hard computers check then, see, because it's noisy in here. There's a lot of distractions. You're trying to I don't think you're trying to do it sneakily, but you're trying not to show other people your data at the same time.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Perfect. So you take a digital copy of the map, and you're like, okay, well this is like the perfect the racing line, as it were. You sort of map out the perfect racing line, and you're able to, show. I was going to say ISO. There's not ISO. You're ISO. Are you able to show Kira later on your data pad, like this is the optimum line?
It's like when you play Mario Kart, and you're like, when you go around this corner, take this high route rather than the low route because it's actually quicker.
Yeah.
Or you've got a booster on it, or
something like that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, that's cool. I'm going to bank that threat if you don't mind for later. Well, you probably do mind, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm going to bank it. Over in the VIP room, it's all a buzz. Everybody is seeing the pods go round. Everyone's all excited. A lot of the atmosphere. Everybody's buzzing, but for slightly different reasons. You can see all the rich fat cats all like, oh, it's going to be a good race, going to make money. And you can see some of the lucky enough people that have been brought along to this. They're like, oh, it's a pod race. This is amazing. I've never been in this. I guess when you kind of go to like a VIP event or something like that, you're like, well, I don't get to do this very often, and it's kind of exciting.
Maybe someone won a competition too.
Yeah, exactly that. A competition and it's free drink and a free room in the hotel and all those bits and pieces. So
I'd like to think one of those people, it was like on a a TV, a HoloNet show. So there's also like a camera crew watching them. You know, like reality TV.
Yeah, it's funny you said that because I was about to say there's a camera crew interviewing team chiefs. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. Like a reality TV people, you know, a personality. So the atmosphere's kind of changed in the room since you've got there, Lynn, and there is a few people that have come over and approached you, but you're completely distracted. Just that one introduction has you very distracted. And after the time trial, you see all the pods come back in, and Kira says to Spanners, "Make it faster," and they head off back into the pit, where obviously where they can do all their works. But it starts to come. Make it faster. No. But it starts to come to night time. It's clearly that people are starting to wind down, ready for the race tomorrow and things. And the VIP starts to empty out. But you do notice a few of the pilots come into the bar, and that includes your team if they want to come up to the bar as well.
That's a big bottle. I'll have a glass.
How empty is it? Have you?
You better have more than one glass. Lynn hasn't touched it.
Okay.
She hasn't touched it, but she's made sure that the bar person has topped up the ice all the time. So it's still perfectly chilled and ready for drinks, but she hasn't had any, which is very odd for her.
Shall
The
I-
only
shall I
thing I was
top you
going
up,
to say,
Lynn?
Lynn, I'll have a glass, thank you, Spanners. The only thing that Lynn really wanted to be doing there was kind of be finding out what the security was going to be doing, and like, you know, during the race. So she would casually talk to a few people, you know, once the time trial was over, before it emptied out, just, you know,
Okay. No worries. So
gauging what security is going to be doing.
yeah, a lot of the people that, you know, sort of talking about security, I assume you do it more as a your personal security in such a, you know, a big planet and galaxy, or very important. And you do get some answers where people say, "Oh, there's not a lot of security today because it's just the teams here." But when it's busy tomorrow, there'll be a lot more security force from the Melastarians. There'll be, you know, ticket booths where people can't get past without tickets, and, you know, only pit crew can go into certain areas, and they sort of outline, you know, that certain areas will be off, so the pit crew pit area will be off limits to anybody other than the teams. The VIP section will only be open to VIP people and ticket holders and competition winners. The hotel is under security all night. No one's allowed to in or out after a certain time. That's to make sure that the racers are kept safe, and that all of the racers stay in the hotel. Yeah, other than the flying pigeons, they haven't booked in a room yet. I don't know what's going on there.
Well, you may as well sign us up a room, I think. If it's for all of us, then do you have another 4-sleeper?
Oh, I better go check the room rates. They might have gone up by now. 1 second. And he goes off to talk to the barman. Comes back a few minutes later. Yeah, it's 1,500 credits for the room now.
Yeah, that's okay. Let's do that.
Do you want it on your team account, or do you want to pay for it now?
Yeah, on the team account's good. Thank you. Okay.
Getting close to your limits. If you need parts, you might have to clear some of this tab. You're a new team, you see.
Yeah, no worries.
You only get a 10,000 credit limit.
Okay. Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
All right, and here's your room number and your key. Here's your room number. Here's your key. Here's your key with your room number on it. You can access it via going up the elevator outside via the pit lane.
Thank you.
And sorry, go on, Richard. You're about to say something.
Just going to say, good job out there, Kira. You seem to be getting the hang of the pod.
It's actually quite majestic. But
Did you hear that, Lynn? Majestic, she says.
I mean, functional, sure. Majestic, you know, majesty requires 2 parts, both form and function, and I wouldn't
It
say
has a form and it has a function, does it not?
but it picks function over form, you know, like that. The other one, did you see the pod racer that the Twi'lek was riding? Now that was a gorgeous pod.
Too flimsy! Too flimsy, if you ask me.
Or maybe she's good enough to just avoid people and rocks and things.
I hear the humans say that size doesn't matter, it's what you do with it.
How did the numbers ring out for the time trials? How did you place, Kira?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't about placing. Was it?
I thought they were doing time trials.
No, it was.
I
I
called
was.
it a
I was
time trial.
warming up. I was warming up my tires.
Yeah, it was my fault. I called it a time trial, and then I described it afterwards as just like checking, warming up. But if you wanted to time trial it, 4th.
Good pole position, not pole position, but good position on the grid to start with.
We need to be faster.
What about any reads on the other pilots? Like, surely you would have been engaging them, engaging in some tactics to either follow in their drag and I don't know these terms. I'm not big into this, but surely you would have been checking them out.
Checking them out, but I wouldn't want to give away any of my tactics. There's some strong competition
To your
out there.
crew. Yeah, exactly. Like the Twi'lek.
Did you watch
Who
anybody
did
else?
she represent again? What was her name? I can't remember her name. Did you even pick it up?
I got it. Yes.
What?
And that's Laroon.
Okay.
And where would she have finished
what about her?
exactly?
Yeah, where did she finish, Dan?
Peace out.
It's going to be all within the same vicinity of you because obviously they're the NPC pods, but so they're all 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. There we go for time trial purposes.
I think Lynn wants her to finish somewhere later tonight.
No. I just think she's got style because she picked such a beautiful pod. Just interested, that's all.
Just get married already, yeah, Jesus.
So as you're talking and discussing this, the music seems to get a little bit louder, and the people behind you now seem to start getting a bit more party-ish. It's sort of turned a little bit from what it was before, which was kind of felt business-like, but now it's sort of turned into like a bit of a party. And after a while, probably an hour or so of this going on, all of a sudden, it's really strange. You can see people dancing and it's quite noisy. People obviously are trying to shout over the music as you guys are getting a little bit more inebriated or, whatever. Maybe this is non-drunk champagne, who knows. A bit of a hush appears at the entranceway, and then you sort of see people sort of turn and look, and then just like a bit of a space clears, and you see this small Twi'lek, when I say small, she's like petite Twi'lek, sort of walk in, doesn't look around at anybody, but then works her way to the bar. But you can sort of see after the people going.
That's the one. Why didn't you go and tell her what you think of her pod?
Well, I recognize her.
She looks very familiar. As if you were looking in a mirror.
Lynn will just sit heavily in the chair and position herself so that she's obscured from the lady at the bar.
Oh, okay.
No, like behind the champagne bottle, so that the lady at the other Twi'lek can't see her.
Can I have
She
a
just slumps into the chair.
perception check, please, from you? It's going to be hard because obviously the lights have been dimmed and there may be some disco lights going off and things.
I'm in deep shit because I can't do anything right. Oh, it's a cunning check. That's okay. I can do 3 greens. And I figure out where my window is. Here we go. So what did you say? Hard.
Hard, please, yeah. Just because of obviously all the lights and stuff going on.
Ooh.
So you kind of position yourself kind of by the bottle, to sort of maybe just peeking round, but try not to make it obvious. And you sort of just look through the crowd, and you actually look at the back of the bar and realise it's a mirror. You know, there's a mirror, then there's glasses, whatever. And you lock eyes with Twi'lek. And then she looks down, looks away, and walks off to the left with a drink in her hand.
It looked like she recognized me.
Yeah.
Shit. Is that the threat? That she recognized me?
Yeah, that's why I looked over to the dice roll over here. Yes.
Okay. This could get complicated. Lynn will say that to everyone sitting around.
Why so?
Well, I haven't told you all where I come from and my family and all of that, but I am worried that that might be a relation of mine.
What does that mean?
I'd best go have a chat with her quickly.
Well, while you're saying this to your team, I rolled badly, and you, as you say, let's go have a chat with her. You kind of just go to stand up, maybe just look to the left or right. People sometimes look at her, and she's standing right there. Do you want to take this, Richard? Do you want me to?
So they're not going to scissor if they're like related, then, no?
I will do it. Sure, Dan.
Okay. Can I start you off at least, if you want to?
Yeah,
take it?
yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Did he send you?
You, darling. And don't make a scene. Grab a seat, have a drink. We're celebrating.
You have no idea who I am, but I know who you are.
So let me get to know you. Yeah, have a glass of champagne.
You're here to spy on me. Sorry, Richard.
You carry on. You've got this.
You're here to spy on me.
Then you obviously don't know anything about me.
You're right. I don't. And I don't want to. You were the perfect daughter. I was the one that was cast aside. And with that, she puts her drink on the table and turns to walk away.
Just hang on a second.
That's me.
Can I just have?
You again.
Can I just
One
have?
second.
Can I just have 5 minutes of your time? Come and sit.
Not here.
I've got a room. And no, Isar, we are not going to scissor.
What does this mean?
What does that mean? Fine. I'll be there tonight. And she says 10, 11 o'clock or whatever, you know. I'll be there.
Okay. It's room 103.
Yeah, thanks for telling me, because I forgot to ask. And then she gives you like a cold shoulder and looks at Kira, because obviously you recognise Kira as the pilot, and just walks off into the crowd.
Lynn is visibly rattled and will exit shortly after this and go back up to the room to collect her thoughts.
Banners will sidle up to Isar and say, "So, any progress on the real mission?"
No.
Okay.
Who was the one who found out about security? That was
Lynn,
wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. So he doesn't know about that. I found the operation center, but I'm not sure that's really the place we need to be. I think I'm going to try and get, and he like taps the backpack. My little friend here to maybe do some after hours work.
Good boy. Let us know if you need any help.
Oh wow! Actually, I have this idea, and he'll just start rattling off things that he wants to do, and one of them is basically, you know, the little like spot welding arm that R2D2's got, the little arc welder thing. He's like, he wants one of them in there. He's like, oh, do you think you can install a, and then whatever it's called, you know.
Yes. I could do that, my boy, no problem.
That might be quite useful, actually. I'm thinking I could get it to, rather than having to go wandering through this place, get my friend here to do the work for me.
Ah, yes, I can assist.
So you're going to do a mechanics check to get that sorted, maybe in the morning after you've not been having a few drinks, and also in the middle of this club.
Now.
No, in the
Now, don't
middle
we?
of the club.
Not in the middle, but like.
Okay. Do you disappear back to the ship to go and do that? Okay. Can I have a perception roll, please, Nick? From earlier. This is me backdating a little bit.
Okay.
Hard, please. No, average, please.
No.
No, I can't have. Oh, okay. So you noticed that obviously the camera crew had drones. Obviously, that's how they're doing the recording. But after a drink or two of maybe whatever has been given to you, you cannot remember what colour they were or what they looked like to try and mask your droid. That was where I was going with that. Okay. Anything else? So you're going to do this now. So you guys are going to go off and do mechanical checks to install this thing. Kira, are you staying and drinking this champagne, or are you?
No, Kira was only going to have a half, and then she was going to head down. Just last look at the racer, just make sure there ain't nobody fiddling around down there that isn't supposed to be there, and then head back to the room after doing that.
So I'll just do you quickly. So you go back down to the pit area. You see that there is security, and you flash them your ticket to say that you're a pilot, and they let you in to see the pods. And it appears that most of the racers are doing exactly what you're doing. They're just sort of saying goodnight to their babies, or baby pods, as it were, or just checking on a few little things before they head off to bed. And you get a kind of like a few stink eyes, but no one engages directly with you.
Okay. And it doesn't look like pods changed or
Doesn't
anything.
look like anything's changed. No, it looks exactly as you left it in the parking bay with the handbrake on.
Yeah. I leave the handbrake on and I head upstairs or downstairs or wherever this damn room is.
Up the lift, 103. So you guys head back to the ship. I assume you're going to do the work in the ship, or you're going to find a works job somewhere. Okay. So just explain to me what we're doing again. You were installing an arc welder, is that right?
Yes, I would like an installation tool.
Installation tool. Okay. Go for it. Tell me what you're going to roll. I think it's mechanics, but I mean, just in case.
Banner's is gonna roll mechanics, and maybe he can have a help from
Yes.
ISAR.
I have 1 yellow, 3 green, so it's probably just going to be a blue for you because I'm sure your skills are better.
4 yellow. And what difficulty do you want?
I'm not even sure I'm going to make you roll if you've got like a gazillion yellows. maybe this is a papa and son bonding experience actually, where they work together to install an arc welder and have a hug and a high five and maybe the bottle of champagne they took back with them or something like that.
No one's drinking your champagne. Stop pushing it.
Okay, that's fine. Not a problem. So you guys can have like just a bonding moment over fixing the drones or how you want it, and then you're welcome to head back up to the room whenever you want, or sleep on the ship, or whatever you choose.
You're doing your shenanigans now, aren't you? At night?
At night.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, beg your pardon. Sorry. Right. So what? Just tell me what you're doing again. So you were putting the arc welder on, and then you are going to
Use the drone to scout. Because it's got the scanners. He's gonna find the actual place that we need to do the mission.
Okay. Go on then.
Because it can ping, it can scan, can't it? So we'll just send it around and
Yeah.
get it to build a map of the facility.
Okay. So
Maybe like through an air vent, like he normally does.
Okay. so then you put this into an air vent, and then it starts to scan and send you a readout of well, first off, it will be the air vent until he's gone.
Bye, Ross.
First off, it will be the air vent, and then obviously as it goes in a bit further, it will then start showing you a layout of the facility. After a while, it gives you a map of this giant facility that you can see where the bar area was, you can see where the pit is scanned down there, and you eventually do find, after a few hours of it making this image of you find the data center room. So you were in like a data center for the race stuff. There is a server room behind there that all of the traffic would come through. You do find that in that server room, you recognize it immediately once it's been scanned. You're like, oh, that's a direct link to the Malastair station, and all traffic goes through that particular thing.
Cool.
Cool.
I mean,
As I saw us doing the thing, Spanners would say, "Are you winning, son?"
you don't win. You just play for fun. he'll show him on the readout map, like where everything is, and that he needs to go here, and that's where. So maybe like this arm that we've now attached on, we can get the drone to install the part without him having to physically go in the. Oh, Ross is back to Ghost Rave. Oh, there we go.
It's freaky.
Yeah. Because Spanish isn't like, I guess it is kind of like someone that's into computers explaining something to someone that's into cars. They're
He's
not
got yellow in
dissimilar, but
computers.
they are different.
Well,
I do.
he's like a beginner.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, so we do that.
Okay. We'll come back
Good
to you.
work, boy. Well done. That's what we were looking for.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
We'll come back to your. So this will take you a few hours to do. Get the map, etc., and build it all up. So you hear a knock on the door. Lynn.
Can we just pause there and take 5?
No.
I just need a loo break and get some snacks and stuff. Cool. Thank you.
Sure.
Hello.
Pod racing's coming.
Pew pew. Oh no, not pew pew. It's vroom vroom.
Pod racing with blasters. That would be something. We're back.
Hello.
So the others are busy. So, you hear a knock on the door, Lynn?
Did we not wait for them?
No, they can catch up.
Okay. Lynn opens it,
It's Kira.
but she is. Oh God. Well, may as well come in for this. Lynn is in a nightgown, like completely disarmed. Like normally she wears her armor, which is like her fancy outfits and stuff like that. And right now she is completely unarmored.
Vulnerable.
You okay, hun?
Not really. Not really at all.
So what's gonna happen? What's the danger?
That remains to be seen. I suspect that Ameth is my sister. Just by the remarks she made. I never knew I had a sister. But I also don't want my father knowing where I am.
Is there anything I can do to help you?
I'm happy for you to listen by the door, but I think I'd probably best talk to her just by myself. She might be intimidated if there's too many other people around.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Can I get you another drink or anything?
No, thank you. I've got some tea on the boil. You're welcome to a cup if you want.
Oh, thank you.
Get some rest. I need you to kick ass tomorrow. And while 4th is good, you're going to have to really step it into high gear tomorrow.
We'll make it work. We'll make it work.
No, you won't. Then we'll go back to the couch with a cup of tea and wait for the knock.
I was also waiting for the knock.
I've knocked 3 times. I think my microphone's not picking it up. I knocked halfway through your conversation with Kira.
It definitely didn't come through on the microphone.
No, okay. You kind of finish with Kira, say about the tea, and then you hear a light knock at the door.
I'll go open it.
Now, Star Wars doors just go shoop, don't they, sideways? So kind of before it's kind of fully gone, she's gone into the room, not on attack, but she kind of like steps in, and it's just eyes looking everywhere, spinning around, just checking behind curtains, and she opens a door and sees Kira, and then closes the door. You're alone, except for
What
the Salonian, of
What?
course.
what else would you expect?
I assumed he was here.
He who?
You know who.
You mean Dad?
The one we share a name with, but not a family.
I haven't spoken to him in... It's about 7 years now.
But you didn't know I existed. Did you?
No, I didn't.
How old is Lynn?
Good question. Pick an age that suits your narrative here.
Or whatever it is, she looks probably 5 or 6 years younger.
Only 5 or 6 years.
Noticeably younger than Lynn.
Yeah. Yeah, but only for. So, how the hell did they hide you from me?
I'm not a child of your mother. I have an entirely different mum. Mine happened to be quite ironic in the holodramas. The maid. So he hid us
You
away.
mean Cathilda?
That's the one.
I wondered why they got rid of her so quickly.
Yeah, we were thrown away like ragdolls. And the perfect daughter got to stay with the perfect dad, while I had to scrape my way from the bottom. Until recently, of course. I stole some money.
From him.
Oh, yes.
Amazing. Just be careful. He's ruthless.
What's he gonna do? Track me down? My name is all over the pod racing circuit. I'm a top racer. What's he gonna do? That was meant
Double
to
check your
sound.
pod.
Sorry, that was meant to sound like a really young person. I'm invincible,
Yeah.
kind of like thing.
Double check your pod tomorrow morning before you get on the track. Because if he wants you dead, he's gonna make it look like an accident.
He wouldn't dare. I've got a
He would.
trick up my sleeve. So
What's that?
I took the money, but I also have all of the data of the last 25 years of his business dealings with the Imperials and the Rebels. And if I die and don't insert a code into a system on time, it will be released on the holonet. He wouldn't dare touch me.
Does he know you have this?
Oh yes, I made it perfectly clear when I took the million credits.
You are in a world of trouble.
He knows where I am. He can find me at any point. He knows I'm racing tomorrow. But I don't think he knows where you are. And I guess you want to keep that secret?
I do.
Then tell your racer to throw the race tomorrow and stay
No.
out of my way.
No.
Well, she starts fiddling with like a comm device. Well, who knows what will happen?
I can tell you right now, you are messing with forces you don't understand. You might think you were hard done by getting thrown out. Well, your mother was thrown out. You weren't even thrown out. Your mother was thrown out before you were born. You were the lucky one. Be careful with what you are messing with. Don't get it. Don't understand.
He wouldn't dare.
He would dare. And he would do it in a way that no one would even know he was involved.
I'll take my risk. Besides, I'm going to win tomorrow, and I have enough money to disappear. Make sure your racer doesn't turn up.
Well, she'll be there. And our pod is going to. I'm not throwing this race for you. Listen, I would help you. I will help you take down Dad if you want to. I will help you get revenge on him. But don't fuck with my business.
What business? That pod isn't going to win. It's too heavy. Did
You
not
don't know Spanners.
Spanners? Who's he?
Just a friend.
I might do some digging. Your friends could be my friends. Who knows?
I am happy to bring you onto our crew, if the rest of them agree.
No, thank you.
Well, don't fuck with my business. You want to take down Dad? I'm your strongest ally. I am there every step of the way. Need some help evading Dad? I might help you out there too, because I've learned a million tricks.
She sort
Don't
of,
fuck with my business.
as you're talking, she sort of, I guess, I imagine it like, you know, when two sort of boxes kind of square up to each other and they sort of just kind of circle, like going around the room. So I imagine this conversation's happening like that. And she sort of ends up by the window. She goes, "Not with Dad, huh? Well, you seem to be piloting one of his ships." And she sort of nudges down at the window at the ship, where you can see the back down with the light coming out, where these two are obviously going with their stuff, whatever. Wouldn't be flying one of his ships now, would you? I don't trust you. You might be my sister, supposedly. Make sure your pilot doesn't turn up, and we'll be square.
What do you mean square? I owe you fuck all, asshole. Don't give me that shit.
She sort of twiddles the communication device on her finger again and says, it's just one easy press of a button.
And that one easy press of a button is going to cost you more than it's going to cost me. Because you know what Dad's going to do? He's going to come down here or send his goons and he's going to harass me and it's going to be a pain in my ass and I really want nothing to do with him.
Oh,
But that's it. That's all it's going to be.
this doesn't call Dad. This calls your chaperone.
Do I know who she means?
He went on
Is
the
it
other.
Thaddeus?
Yeah, he went on the other mission.
Thaddeus and I. Never mind. I'm not afraid of you calling Thaddeus.
He might be.
Why?
Because I caught up with Thaddeus a fair while ago. With one press of this button, and his programming changes from protecting you to hunting you.
Bluffing.
Yeah, we're gonna roll that one. That one's definitely a roll one. So she is trying to do deception, and you're. What are you gonna do? It's not vigilance.
Is it discipline
Yeah, I reckon so.
to tell lies, or is it cool? I can't remember.
Cool is kind of like how you act in a situation. I would say it's probably discipline.
Cool is to resist charm and
Oh,
negotiation.
there we go. Then go for that one. So,
No, that's for charm and negotiation.
yeah,
This discipline is for leadership, coercion, and deception. So,
Yeah. So she's doing deception.
oh, good, a roll off.
Do you know what I've completed?
Pew pew. Oh,
So evens out. So she threatens, you call the bluff, but you definitely feel she's got something up her sleeve.
yeah, you know, I think she's telling the truth. Even though I say she's lying, I honestly believe she's telling the truth.
And obviously you remember Thaddeus's history and things. So, so
I am warning you one last time. Make an ally of me, and your life will be better. Fuck with my business, and we're gonna have a problem.
we can be friends. I can give you this control. Make your pilot not turn up tomorrow.
No.
Good night.
No, what you're asking me to do, is to put my friends at risk by throwing our enterprise into the ground that we're working really hard to try and build.
You're not here for the race. You don't make it to the pro circuit from one sponsorship. You can roll that if you like. If you're listening in the background, aren't you? You could roll that if you want to do it to check to see if you think. So
What role would that be?
So you would be rolling. Sorry, I completely forgot you were there until I saw that message.
Yeah,
I was in the zone. So I guess I'm rolling deception because I'm trying to sound that I'm not threatened. Is that right? So what would yours be? Coercion? No, that's the wrong one. Cool or willpower? Discipline.
It's just power.
Is there not like an insight one?
No.
An insight equivalent?
I'm not even going to roll off against you because you're not actually in direct competition. So we're not trying to do it. So I would maybe even an education check to just try and see through the wordplay.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
How difficult?
Average.
Like this.
Perfect. So from behind the door, just listening in with your kitty cat ears, you strongly believe that the reason she's pushing so hard for you to be removed from the race is that she is threatened by you as a pilot / the hammer. Just trying to take out the competition. You have my terms, Lynn. I'm going to bed. I have a race to win tomorrow.
I'm going to say this one last time. Be my friend. Friend doesn't walk into another friend's house. You can see, I could have laid a trap for you here. I could have had armed droids ready to take you down. I let you in here, trusting me, and you've come into my house and you've threatened me. And you say you want to be friends. That's not how you become friends with someone.
Good night, Lynn. And she'll stroll over to the door. That was.
A race is going to get up tomorrow.
That was intentional to make you just go to sleep annoyed. Not as you as a person, but Lynn. Yes, we'll see. And then the door opens and closes.
Kira's gonna emerge at this point. Looks like she was having it on.
Definitely that time of the month.
Tomorrow's gonna be much more fun after that.
Oh, you better smash her face tomorrow. Please don't. It's actually quite a pretty face. Don't hit her face. You know what I mean. Just win the race.
That was right.
Shit. Thaddeus, you just hear her suddenly like monologuing. She just says, Thaddeus, darling, I know you heard that. Just be on the lookout. Get someone to take a look at your control systems. You heard the threat. And then Lynn will position herself on a couch in Kira's room and watch over her the entire night while she sleeps.
Okay. Oh, stressful.
Yeah, she's freaked out.
Okay. Over to the Burglar Brothers.
Are Spanners and ISA are informed about any of that? Obviously, loads of that is private. I'm just wondering, me as a player, I'm hearing that thinking I'd also be worried about the pod, that she might try and sabotage the pod. So would you warn?
Absolutely. As soon as you get back, you will, like, this is a threat to the business that she's growing, and you guys are a big part of that. So she will honestly tell you like all of that. Like she probably won't tell you the part about what her leverage was, the threat on Thaddeus and him
Mhm.
becoming crazy, because if you guys like decide to nuke him from orbit before he even gets back and gets a chance to speak, that's not, she doesn't want to give you that kind of impression. I think she'd leave that part out,
Mhm.
but just that there is a very real and present threat, and we just need to be very careful.
So you can have that information as soon as you're finished doing your other mission.
Okay.
So I don't want it to affect your piloting skills or anything for that side of things. So you've got your map, you've got your drone. He's got a little arc welder. You know where you've got to go to plant your signal repeater or whatever you want to call it. I keep changing it every time I mention it. So we're going to go for a series of checks. There are going to be some piloting checks, which will be computers in ISR's case, because it's a drone. We're then going to go for a mechanical check. That will be to cut and put the item into the right place, followed by some more piloting checks to get back out safely. Is that okay with you? Yeah. You may provide support, Richard, and even take control and do the flying should you wish. No, I like this. Fly with the control.
Piloting is not Spanner's thing.
ISR is actually alright at piloting. It occurs to Nick as a player that the easiest thing to do would actually just be to remotely use the drone to hack into the computer system and put a software relay on rather than fucking around with a piece of physical technology. But here we are. We
You can do that.
No, we're putting a big stonking piece of metal on the side of it that no one's definitely going to notice.
That depends on your stealth roll. No. Right, so let's have a computer check for piloting. For going into. Hold on. You attached the arc welder, and it went scanning after that. Is that right? So the drone is somewhere in the system somewhere. Okay, so you take it off from of autopilot, doing its own thing, and go on to remote pilot, and it's in the vents. So we're going to have a computer check for piloting to get it back towards where it needs to go to accordingly. I'm going to have hard computers, please.
You could have a blue from Spanners if you want it.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
keep that blue.
Okay. So you pilot the drone through the duct system perfectly, following your
Right.
little. Sorry.
You said the duck system. Quack.
Through the duck quack system, all the way back towards the server room itself. What was that?
Bye.
Oh, and you come out towards the. It doesn't actually directly exit into the data room, server room. It exits into the data room. So that large room you have with the large TVs and things, but you can see the data room over to the back. So how are you going to get into this room? I imagine it like a glass front, and you can see all the servers behind it. Maybe, if you want it like that, or it can be just a door. And it's up to you.
That would make sense because I would have seen it when I was in that room earlier.
This is true.
And then I wouldn't have needed to go and map the entire building out.
Okay. It's behind a closed door that says server room, but do not enter. How are we going to get into this room?
I'm going to go back in the ducts and come out of the extract duct that
No worries.
the servers are going to need to have all the heat they produce extracted, right?
Yeah. Let's make it Mission Impossible. Let's make it you actually go around up, and then you're looking down on top of the vents above the server room, and you're going to have to get through the vents, because that sounds more exciting than just going through the ducts into the room, right? Or maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah. How are you going to slow down these vents? Blades, sorry. Spinning blades. Unless I didn't describe that right.
Right, so there's a fan
There you go.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not just an air vent. There's a fan there.
Extraction fan or whatever. Yeah. It's large enough that you could fly through the gap, but obviously while it's moving, They're in the danger zone. Like Tom Cruise.
I've not seen that film, so
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm going to make a mechanics check
Yeah, go on.
to know how the fan works and be able to tell ISAR if you just do this thing, if you just zap just there, it will turn off the fan. So use my knowledge of this common fan system.
Well, you're watching through
Where
the
for
vid
you, Nick?
screen.
For me,
What difficulty?
Small computer screen. Hard 3, please. Oh, perfect.
Oh, I know this system very well. Yes, yes. All you need to do, boy, is if you just use your new zapper, just there on that panel, top left near the screw. If you zap just there, it will power down the fan temporarily, and then you'll be able to descend through.
he does that.
Zap.
Zap.
Okay, so you float down through the blades after they stop, of course. Float through the blades into the server room, and you see lots and lots of data centers. And you know that there's one in here that you can hack for the outgoing signal. So there was a twitch in the eye. We'll have a computers check from one of you to determine the stack, and then a mechanical check for you to attach your device, please.
I'll do the figuring out of the computers. I'll do the figuring out of the stacks. Spanish, you can stick it in for me. How difficult do you want this?
I'm gonna go for hard and hard. One, this is a small a thing that you want to attach for the mechanicals check, and there's a lot of stuff in here, and you're just looking for a vid screen, so it's not like you're in the room. You had a blue as well, Nick, for your check because of the carried forward.
I did, thank you.
Perfect.
Same again. Superb.
Yeah.
Right, it's that one. Right, I think it's the Unit 2, Column 3. Appears to have the outgoing data feed.
Okay, pass me the controls.
Right, now this button here it gives them a quick brief of the controls.
So
Excellent.
Sorry, you can see on the data.
Fuck it up.
Jesus Christ. Okay, perfect. So ISA goes, it's this one here, and you go, all right, pull the unit out perfectly on the controls. Take the cable that you want, feed it back through to the top, and plug your device in, and then push it back in. So your device is hidden on top of the server, so it's not immediately obvious that something's gone on.
This is a nifty thing. Thank you. Well,
Oh, that was masterfully done there. Almost indistinguishable from a temperature sensor that you'd normally find on top of one of those units. It's a little big, but it's not. Nice job.
it'll be a while before they find that, I think.
Let's hope so.
Perfect. And then you are not under time pressure getting back out, so you guys can work your way out slowly. A nice bonding moment between dad and son.
Skipping up to the hotel.
That's it. But halfway towards the hotel, after you've done this, you've put the thing on ice, so then can connect to the system, and then he, over the course of tomorrow, he'll be able to do his thing to find the skimming ring and insert himself into the Baron into it.
I'd love to insert myself into a ring.
Halfway towards the hotel, you get on the comms, and Lynn goes, "Uh-oh, all this bad information," and you stop in your tracks because you did say you potentially want to go check the pod.
I saw. What do you think about setting up a camera in the space with the pod in the garage and with an alert for motion detection, and we can go to sleep?
He'll. I'm assuming the drones come back to him and goes, "Oh, his work's not done tonight, is it?"
He'll do the job nicely.
We have to give him a nice oil change. No, wait, Rome wouldn't have a oil change.
Bath.
Oh, but that's it. I think he'll earn himself a nice oil bath after this excursion. I'm sure we can reconfigure him to do just that.
Okay. So you guys go into the pit. You find that there's a couple of people here. There's security guards here, so you have to show your passes to get in for the team. And there's
We also tell them exactly what we are doing.
Okay.
Like, this is being left on our pod as a motion detector, as security. It shouldn't move away from the pod. Feel free to check it. This is exactly what it is doing.
It's okay, sir. We have security here. Nobody will be getting in here without a pass. You don't have to worry. You don't need your camera. But you're willing to leave it. That's fine. If it gets broken, that's not my responsibility.
You said no one gets in here without a pass, but we have just got in here and now could go anywhere. You see my concern. I understand that you have a job to do, and you obviously know much more about security than I do, but it's just a little peace of mind for us, if that's okay.
Yes, you had a pass when you came in here, but yes, of course, you set up your camera, and I'm just going to come with you to make sure you don't tamper with anyone else's pod. Of course, you understand. Yes, yep, and he'll follow you all the way to the hammer and watch while you set up your drone for motion sensors. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but go any form of motion, it will just go off and send
Within
you
like a small radius of the pod.
Okay.
Obviously,
Yeah.
not the
Yes,
entire room. Yeah.
and then it will just send you either like a ring doorbell, or send you like a little video or an
Oh.
alert or something like that. Okay.
And it will
Exactly.
screech.
Really loud.
It will screech. Okay, no worries. No worries. Okay, so you install that, and the security guy goes, "Yeah, yep, well done. It's getting late, and let's go off to bed. Well, you go to bed. I'm going to do my job." and he'll usher you out of the pit and close the door and wave good night to you.
Good night, Jacob.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. I've already said it 3 times. So you guys going up to the hotel room, or are you going back to the ship to chill, sleep?
Hotel. In my case.
We need to rendezvous back with our team and, further discuss the matters that have occurred this evening.
Okay. So you go up to the hotel room, room 103, and I presume Lynn's going to let you in because there was only one key. But Kira is asleep unless she doesn't want to be asleep. She was asleep. Okay. And then you can report all of your information.
Once the door's closed, Spanos will pat Isar on the back and say to Lynn, "The boy did good. Job's a good one."
All sorted.
Mm-hmm.
We have the facilitation. We just need to do the completion now, much like the race.
Amazing. Well done.
Amazing.
That's actually fantastic news. It's the first bit of good news we've had all day.
Well, I've also worked out this route for Kira to take in the actual race, which could potentially help her
More good
have a
news.
competitive edge.
Amazing. Thank you.
You don't seem particularly happy about that.
I am. I'm just off my game. I'm off my game. I never knew I had a sister, and now I have a sister, and
She's evil.
Well,
Evil sister.
she's
Twin sister.
pissed
Evil twin.
off. I don't think she's evil. I think she's young and impetuous and confused and angry.
Well, in the circles we operate in, that's a very good way to end up dead.
That's what I'm worried about. Spanners, can you do me a huge favor tomorrow morning?
Yes.
She won't let you anywhere near her pod because she doesn't trust anyone. And that's a good way to keep her alive for an extra 10 minutes. But can you just look over her pod? I know you're not going to be able to get close. Look for signs of tampering.
I can do that.
Yeah. Thank you. I am going to go settle in the couch and I won't be sleeping tonight. You guys both need to get some good rest. I'm just going to watch over everyone, make sure we're safe.
Good night.
Good night.
Within a minute, you can hear Svanner's snoring really loudly.
Isa will sit opposite you and look at you, and he's looking at you, and then you can hear him snoring, but he's still just looking at you.
Eyes are open. Lynn will kind of like
Yeah, he's asleep, but he's just eyes open.
eyes open. Oh, that's creepy.
So Lynn, you go.
I've actually I met a guy who slept with his eyes open, like
Yeah,
a young
occasionally
kid.
people do
When
it.
yeah, and he was sitting on the couch, fast asleep, with his eyes open, and I was like blown away. It was like, what?
I think I might
Anyway,
be Spanners in real life. Snoring. So after a while, Lynn, you go back and sit on the couch. These are snoring in wherever they are. Kira's asleep. You hear woo 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 woo. It's your drone warning you there's motion by the pipe.
Svanner's up in a second.
He's instantly awake, and the screen's out.
You look
Binary brain. Bang bang.
You look at the screen, it's like a rat-type creature that appears to be crawling on top of the pod, and you can see the drone has spotted it, made a loud noise, and it's scuttered away. You just see its shadow go off, and then the drone settles back into where it was.
Then
And
we'll
then-
burst into your room and just check in. Like, is it okay? Is everything okay?
See.
Oh yeah, I forgot that part. Sorry. Then we'll run over to you and look at the screen while you look.
It was just a rat, and then literally, as he puts his hand down, looks up at you, and then you can hear him snoring again. The pad's in hand now. Like,
So you realise he's asleep again, Lynn, and go to leave the room. The alarm goes
Well,
off.
no, she'll go sit.
Alarm goes off before you leave the room. I'm not
Okay.
going to do it again. And wakes Isa back up, and Spanners immediately high alert. Look at the camera, and it's tracking like this ratty thing again. And this goes on all.
I used the drone to just smush the rat.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Fair enough. Okay, it's going to happen a few times until you
Or
smush
the- or
the
the-
rat.
Like the second time, I used the welding tool just to
Mm.
electrocute it to
Exactly.
death.
Nice.
Can I have you though, please make a resilience roll? I was going to do it to apply some strain because no one's got any strain damage. A resilience roll, please, on average.
Everybody.
Yes, please. Other than Kira, Kira's asleep. She didn't wake up. So
I am happy to make mine at hard because I am not
sure.
sleeping at all the whole night.
No worries.
And it's average check, isn't it?
Yes, please. Any failures are going to be converted into strain. Isa, you're going to be tired, but you're okay. I didn't see Ross.
That's the benefit of being able to go awake asleep.
Yeah. So you're all fine. No, you feel tired, but it's not had any impact on your ability. Okay, and this goes on until Isa then squashes and then zaps the rat.
Second time.
Second time. Okay.
Literally, second time.
And then it doesn't go off anymore for the night. It's clearly maybe you see Jacob walk close, not in set off distance, but the camera picks him up, sort of looking at the pod, looks down at the squashed rat, and just shakes his head and then walks away. I don't know what they're called in it, and it's not a womp rat. It's something else in this. But anyway, and cock-a-doodle-doo! It's the morning. It's
Then
waste-
we'll walk in, and well, you guys will wake up and you can smell like a nice breakfast that's on the go. Lynn hasn't cooked it. She's ordered room service for you all.
Nice.
But there's a nice spread, like some good orange juice and, well, whatever. The blue milk.
200
Here's
credits for the
canola.
room service.
Wander through and you're like, none of you look like you slept. What did I miss?
Nothing.
I slept fine, thank you very much.
Okay, well, let's get down.
Eat something first.
Sure, I'll keep it down. But I'll have a small nibble. It's like, finds a cracker with a small piece of cheese.
It's like, oh, you gonna eat that? Are you not eating your eggs? Oh, you're not.
Ice is going to be too lethargic to do anything later. Ice, where are you? Okay, it's race day. Everyone's all pumped in the hotel, like lots of things going on. And the race is in the morning, because everyone likes morning races. So you can see crowds are coming, and they're going settling into the stands. You can see flags displaying team names. And the pit is alive with activity. Your camera has been showing people there since early morning, if you look at the data pad. But not alarming, just showing you. And you go down to the pit, if you all go to the pit. And there is the Hammer. And Bob, the drone.
And the dead rat.
And the dead rat. Well, I reckon that's been dragged off by somebody by now. don't know what. Maybe an orphan child. Who knows?
You could have picked a snake or a bird or an orphan
Child.
child.
Child. All of the orphan children in this universe either become monsters or are monsters.
Spanos will be doing his checks, but making sure that the oil's filled up, green wash is done, all of that stuff, whilst looking over at what's her face's Ameth's pod as well. Please, may I make a mechanics check? If I need to make a roll, make a mechanics check rather than an observation, because I'm looking at the mechanical parts from a distance. To see if I can determine if it has been tampered with.
Sure.
Do you want me to roll for that?
Let's say that she's in the stall opposite you.
Mm.
And you can get a little bit closer without making it look too suspicious, but then view the machinery. Yeah, go for it. Let's go for average, please, sir. Oh, you got 4 yellows, haven't you? Because Jesus, right, okay. You look at the pod, and it is a marvel of engineering. It's really good, Lim was right, small engines and streamlined, but you like chunky things. Looking at the pod and making it, maybe you're looking at some tools, you're going, no, not the right tool, just looking up over the corner of your eye, sort of going back and forward in front of the stall, even talking to yourself. You look at it and go, nothing's been tampered with. Like, it's very clear that it's how you saw it on the track yesterday. And she's in there, she's sort of doing stuff, and she sort of sees you walking back and forward, just sort of like, but doesn't approach you or say anything. You can just see her tinkering with things and maybe getting her race suit on.
So is Len in the pit with us? Did you say that Len had come down?
Yeah. Sure.
When Spanners is between his pod and her, he will get Len's attention and point at her pod and go like that. How are you feeling, Kara? The pod's good. Are you?
Yep, it's almost hammer time.
Yes. Nice.
I'm going to flip a dark side, and Kira's mysteriously sick from some of the meat on the bread.
Well, luckily I only ate the cheese and biscuit.
It was off cheese. No. Okay, so you can hear the race officials go, the race will be starting in exactly 32 standard galactic minutes. Make sure your pod is on the track, otherwise you'll be disqualified. Then you start to see some teams hook up their pods to the weird camel things, I forgot what they're called, and start to make their way out to the track.
One last piece of business for Lynn, and then I'll shut up for the rest of the evening. She will wait until Ameth is about to take her pod onto the track, and she'll just walk over and say to her, "For what it's worth, I loved Cathilda, and I cried for 2 weeks straight when she left." And then I'll walk away.
She'll just give you a stink eye the whole time. Not respond to you. She's in race mode. She don't want to talk to you anymore. You're a bad
And I was
guy.
trying to rattle her a little bit, Bro, make her think about her mom and, the hard times in her life and just a little bit of,
You're so mean.
but I'm being genuine.
No, that's fair enough. Yeah, she gives, like I said, a bit of a stink eye, but then starts guiding out the camel thing. I really forgot what they're called. I'm trying to go through the book and find them. Out towards the track.
Amalosians.
Amalosians.
Yep, that's what they're called.
Oh, okay. Amalosian. Should just say Panther. It'll be easier, wouldn't it? Okay. Or Ronto, one of the two. The Rhino or the thing. So, you go out onto the track. If whoever's going out that direction, I assume that Lynn and Isara are going up.
Yeah.
Well, I assume you're going back to the data center. Is that right? To do the race from the pod race from there, or not pod racing, but
Well, would it make more? I'd like to go somewhere a bit more.
Privet.
Yeah, rather than a room full of people trying to look at each other's screens.
Okay. You can either do it from the ship, or you can do it from here in the pit.
Right, hang on. Where's Lynn and Spanners going?
Spanners is going out onto the pit lane with
Mhm.
pod at the moment. Sorry, Richard, I've determined you're going that way.
Nope, that's what I was thinking too.
And Lynn may be going upstairs to the VIP area.
Lynn was going to head there, but if you need support or anything,
No, I think I'll go with Lynn because that'll be a better place to go because people will be watching the race, not me.
Okay.
Over breakfast, of course, Isar shared with Kira the racing line
Yes.
that he found.
Okay. So I'm gonna
Or Lynn shared it with
someone.
Kira. Yeah.
It was handed over in some capacity.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do with that, Andrew, is give you a blue die, extra blue die for your first 2 rolls. After that, maybe the map will change, or there'll be races and things will change. Who knows? It's a pod race. Anything can happen. Okay. It's 10 to 11. I don't think we're going to get pod racing done in 10 minutes. We can either stay late and do the racing, or we can stop and do it all next week.
Give us something exciting to look forward to next week.
Start off pod race. Big exciting. Big ticket number.
Yeah. So we'll leave the scene that Isar and Lynn are up in the bar, looking out the window overlooking the track. There's lots of excitement in the bar. The pod, the hammer is down on section 4, grid 4, and you've got your racers around you. You've got Amareth to your right. You've got Yun in 3rd place, just in front of you, and Soon just behind you in 5th place, 6th place. Numbers, yeah, that was right. And then obviously the rest of the pods have all lined up. And you can hear the crowd cheering and cheering and cheering, and the light beeps on. Not to go, but they do the thing. And that's where we'll cut. We're ready to pick up straight away.
Nice.
amazing.
Thanks, Dan.